Welcome to the Timberwolf Lodges Market Update. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide here in Park City, Utah. Thank you for joining me for this webinar. We're going to take a look at the Park City real estate market first, and then we will drill down and take a look at what's been happening at Timberwolf Lodges. The Park City real estate market is very positive right now with a lot of good activity happening. Over the past 12 months, there's been 1,454 sales in Park City. Now, this consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land combined, and this is all real estate companies combined. So that's actually up 9% or 120 sales from that same 12-month period the year before. This graph here breaks it down by homes, condominiums, and lots. And we're looking at, with the red bar, the period of time of September 2014 through to August 2015. The gold or tan color other bar represents a 12-month period before that. And so we're doing a year-to-year comparison. Our first column looks at homes, and you can see that the home sales are up by 7%, with 105 sales the previous year, 539 sales during this past 12-month period. Condominiums is up a whopping 20%, climbing from 605 sales to 723 sales, and the lot market is actually down by about 14%, dropping from 224 sales to 192. Now, it is worth mentioning that the reason why the lots market is down is lack of inventory. Just not enough lots on the market to be purchased, therefore not enough sales. If we had more inventory, I'm sure we wouldn't see that drop. But what's happening with Park City property prices? Let's take a look at that, starting with homes. We're looking at here home medium sold prices, again for the same 12-month period of September 2014 through August 2015, and then comparing it with the year before. This time we're looking at the Park City city limits, and then we're comparing it with the Snyderville Basin county area of Park City. Prices slightly down within the city, 1%. 1,347,450 was the year before. This past year, 1,336,250. Gosh, it's barely a change here, and that could make the difference between one property, slightly different location, better views, whatever it is here. For the most part, it represents a level pricing year-to-year comparison. But when we look at the Snyderville Basin, we see a significant increase, 20%. With the medium sold price climbing from $720,000 all the way up to $866,250. So very strong appreciation out in the county area. Turning our attention to condominiums, in the city, price increases was about 5%, with the medium sold price climbing from $521,000 to $549,000. In the Snyderville Basin, it rose by about 13%. From $339,500 all the way up to $385,000. So we're seeing the number of sales increasing and property values increasing with condominiums. Here we're looking at lots, again comparing year to year. In the Park City limits, basically level. The median price was $599,000. Now it's $1,000 higher, $600,000 even, at 0.17% up. Basically the same price. Slightly up also in the Snyderville Basin by 1%, climbing from a median price of $325,000 to this past 12 months $327,250. Now this graph here tells us about cash deals. We're looking back to 2007 and looking at what percentage of transactions are paid all cash versus financing. And you can see it's very, very strong. The last 2, 4, 6 years, we're looking at pretty much 1 out of every 2 being a cash deal. What's worth pointing out here is that the first quarter of 2015, we saw the highest number of cash sales being 56%. Very strong, with a lot of people with a lot of money in their pockets, and they're spending it on Park City real estate. The second quarter, it actually dropped quite a bit to 43%. Which is, as you can see, lower than going back a couple of years here. And the main reason for that is not a lack of cash, but really financing interest rates very, very low, and some additional loan programs became available, and so folks who probably otherwise would have paid cash chose to do financing. So that's our proportions of cash versus financing in the Park City real estate market. Now, turning our attention to Timberwolf Lodges, let's see what's happening there. Condominium sales in Timberwolf Lodges are up 20% over last year's number of sales. That's good news. But what does it really amount to? It amounts to one more sale. In other words, previous year there were 5 sales. This past 12-month period there were 6. Mathematically, that one extra sale is a 20% increase. But we'll take it. Absorption rate. We want to talk about absorption rate because this gives you an idea. If you were to put your property on the market, how long would it likely take to sell, assuming you priced it at a reasonable price? Timberwolf Lodge condos are selling at a pace of 1 sale every 61 days. And right now there are no condos on the market at Timberwolf Lodges. So you got sales that are pretty quick, and then you also have the fact there are no units currently on the market. So if you were interested in selling, that's kind of the ideal scenario. No competition directly in Timberwolves. So anybody who's interested in Timberwolf property is probably watching the market for the next one that may come on to the market. Selling prices have ranged from $361,950 all the way up to $510,000, with the medium sold price being $395,500. That's actually down by 1% from the previous year's values. Here it is. The median prices, Timberwolf, the previous year was $399,000. This past year, $395,500. So slightly down, mathematically 1%, but pretty level. And again, you could count for that in terms of furniture. You could count in terms of location in the property or views, any number of different reasons. That's pretty insignificant in terms of that price point. If you're interested in actually seeing the sales that occur that make up the data that I've shared with you, send me an email at ron@thewilsteinteam.com, and I'm happy to send that to you, or to my colleague Doug at thewilsteinteam.com, and I'll get you that information. Now, I want to let you know how you can get an update on the Timberwolf Lodges market whenever you want. Typically, I record these webinars about every 6 months, but you don't have to wait for the next one. You can simply go to our website and put in a request, and we'll get that information to you anytime you want, as often as you want. What you do is you bookmark BuyParkCityRealEstate.com/Timberwolf or thewilsteinteam.com/Timberwolf. It will take you to a page where you simply fill out a form, and let me just show it to you real quickly. We're looking at the BuyParkCityRealEstate.com homepage, and all you're going to do is you're going to go into your real estate web browser and type in BuyParkCityRealEstate.com/Timberwolf. And if you do this, this is what will happen. So here we're looking at the Timberwolf Lodges page on our website, and it gives you a little bit of information about Timberwolf, and then as you scroll down, you have these 2 buttons, and the green one says watch a webinar for an update on Timberwolf Lodges. In effect, that's what you're doing right now. But as we update them, you can always get there by clicking that button. The maroon button here says send me current sales data for Timberwolf Lodges condominiums. If you hover over it, it turns purple, and if you click on that, what it will do is it will take you to this page that says current sales data request, and it's quite simple. You identify your property, and you indicate whether it's a condominium with these pull down some of the details, and then a little bit lower down here you put in your name, first name, last name, and an email address, and that's all you need to put on here. If you are not on our mailing list and you want to be on our mailing list to get my newsletter, quarterly newsletter, include your mailing address. Down the comment box you can write any questions that you have, and then click the green submit form button, and that will send that to me. And what we'll do is we will at that point send you current information, active listings, pending sales, closed sales there at Timberwolf lodges, and you'll get information. So you don't have to wait for the next webinar. You can have it any time that you want. There's no cost, there's no obligation. Feel free to take advantage of that if you so choose. Now, before I conclude the webinar, let me just give you a quick update what's been happening at the Park City Resort. As I'm sure you're aware, Vail Resorts purchased Park City Mountain Resort. They already were controlling and operating Canyons Resort, so they have combined the two resorts into one. And this past year, they have been investing a lot of money, $50 million in improvements. And I just want to highlight a couple for you that you may find interesting, or at least everyone's asking us about these. First of all, the connection between formerly the two resorts, now one, is the Quicksilver gondola. These are the towers going up, and then the helicopter just drops the top piece on there. Pretty impressive to watch them do this, but great to see that. That is going to be the link for the two resorts into one, so it's a very important lift there. Next, the new restaurant will be at the base of that Quicksilver gondola, which is also at the same place as the Silverlode Express lift, if you're familiar with that from Park City Mountain Resort days. Brand new building, brand new restaurant there, so be sure to check that out for the upcoming ski season. Certainly centrally located. Also, this picture is taken from the base of the Motherlode lift. Motherlode lift was a 4-passenger chair. It's now a 6-passenger chair. Sometimes there's a little bit of bottlenecking going on there with a little longer lines than people wanted, and so this 6-person lift should certainly move people up the mountain quickly. So those are just some examples of what's been happening there during the summer months, and it's nice to see this happening. It won't be long before the resort is open, so they do plan to have all of this done. Speaking of opening dates, Park City Resort is scheduled to open November 21st, so that's about a little less than 2 months away. And if you're interested in getting a season pass, you want to know about the Vail's Epic Pass. 2 different passes are probably of interest to you. One is the Epic Pass, Season Pass. The other is the Epic Locals Pass. Locals Pass is for locals, residents of Utah, and it does have some restrictions that days you can't use it, key holidays, Christmas to New Year's, President's Week. But otherwise, it's a great pass, and that'll give you access to the 7,300 skiable acres and riding between the two, formerly two resorts, now one. The other beauty of the Epic Pass is it's not just for Utah. You can go over to Colorado, you can go to Vail, you can ski Beaver Creek, you can go ski in California resorts that Vail owns. In fact, you can ski any resort that Vail operates around the world with the Epic Pass. So great pass if you want to ski the world, if you will. Now let's not limit our attention here to the Park City Resort. Deer Valley, of course, will be open. They typically open about the first weekend in December. Assuming there's good snow, they won't open, as you know, unless the conditions are prime. They want to have the best skiing, the best experience, the best service, the best food, and they won't open unless they have all those variables. But should be, weather permitting, about the beginning of December that they will open up. Now, we're being asked quite a bit about the impact of Vail's improvements. They're investing $50 million into the Park City Resort. What impact is that having on the Park City real estate market? I'm not going to cover that in this webinar due to time, but in our monthly webinar, which we call our Park City Market Talk webinar, which we update on the 15th of the month each month, our next one, October 15th, we're going to discuss this question. So, good question. Catch that webinar, and you can go to the website, watch it there. I'm sure you'll find it informative. So it's an important topic. Finally, if you want to learn how much your Timberwolf Lodge unit is worth in today's market, it's really easy. Go to our website, BuyParkCity.com. On that homepage, scroll down a little bit to the Learn What Your Property is Worth section. Complete the quick form there, or just send me an email or Doug an email, and we'll help you out there. Again, let me just show it to you on the screen. Here we are. This is BuyParkCityRealEstate.com. This is the home page, and you simply scroll down a little bit past the Start Your Park City search. That's if you want to look for properties. past the listed properties in a webinar, to the learn what your property is worth in today's market. We've got another one of these short forms, takes less than a minute to complete. Describe your property so I know what you want to know, what you want to get a property value assessment on. Whether it's a home or a condo or vacant land, you just choose the pull down menus, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. And when you're done doing that, scroll down a little bit further, put your first name, last name, and email address. And then on this list of boxes here, check the first one here, contact me now for a free property value assessment. I'll get in contact with you, arrange to see your property. We'll get you that information. You don't have to be selling it. You can just be curious. There's no cost, there's no obligation. But if you want to take advantage of that, that's how you do it. And all you do is click submit form, and that will come to me, and I'll get in touch with you. Just that easy. So take advantage of that. Have any questions, email your questions to me or give me a call, Ron at thewilsteinteam.com, or my colleague Doug at thewilstein.com, and we're here to assist you. Again, a reminder, Park City Market Talk webinar is posted on our website on the 15th day of each month at about 7 p.m., sometimes a little earlier. And upcoming October 1, we'll have that Vail question about the impact of the improvements on the real estate market. Thank you for joining me on this webinar. Hope you found it to be informative, and by all means come on out and enjoy Park City. Bye-bye.